I'm Josh and welcome back to Porfection. Today we have the second part of a 4-part video series of how to drive $700,000 worth of cars for absolutely free. So today we want to capture my strategies for purchasing a new car and what to look for to at least minimize what your losses are for that moment you drive it off the lot, and more importantly, for what it takes when you go to trade it back in. I believe personally that too many people spend too much time looking at the purchase price rather than really examining the purchase price versus how long can I hold the car and what can I sell it for. Because that's really often your true cost. So I guess the first strategy that I've employed is do you have any friends or family that work for the auto manufacturer or a subsidiary? So the discounts for those often are a percentage behind the invoice minus any incentives that they may have. So those can be additional rebates or financing deals. And those are quite advantageous to kind of lowering that purchase price and also significantly reducing that number of purchase versus your eventual sales price. Also, many of the manufacturers offer partnership type agreements. So this can be like friends or partners, friends and family, etc. That they offer, and this could be due for sometimes credit unions, other large companies that routinely purchase large groups of vehicles for the fleet. This can be providers. So a company that provides the products that the manufacturer uses. It could be windows, it could be lumber, it could be whatever that manufacturer routinely is using. Sometimes those get discounts. Also, keep in mind that at times the conglomerate that a manufacturer is under may have other subsidiaries that still allow you to get those discounts. Now, dealers often don't have to honor those. They usually do, but during the pandemic, as you all know, what happened with prices and availability, not all would, but there were those that even held to that during that period. Also, there's often more flexibility on an ordered unit than there is that maybe something that's short supply on the lot. So the dealers in a normal situation are very excited to sell those. They get some money on the back end for selling it that cheap. But when you're looking at a car where you can get 5%, so you have the list price, $50,000, you have the invoice, maybe $45,000. Some of them are up to 5% back of that, and then minus any rebates. So it adds up to a significant reduction in your purchase price. The other thing that I'd kind of like to talk about a little bit is timing. So you kind of have to balance buying early in the model year and capturing that early model year. So you're purchasing this year maybe a 2023 that maybe by this time you've already owned for 3 or 4 months. So that helps you as you're trading it in, especially if you're trading it in relatively soon, to have that latest model year. And then you have to balance that with kind of market trends of what you've maybe observed in the past of some models, especially models that have been out for quite a while, where you kind of get those late model year huge rebates. So that's something, and it's just kind of model specific of what you need to kind of look for, and also the time frame that you're going to hold the vehicle. Obviously, if you're going to hold it 4 or 5 or 6 years, maybe getting that large rebate would help you more than buying early and getting the current model. The other thing is to get on a list early at a dealer that preferably you've been able to establish a relationship with and is continuing to sell vehicles at list prices. So shop for those. Those dealers do exist. But get on early on a list that for a car that you feel will have high demand. So, the Ford Bronco, the Chevy Corvette, a Subaru BRZ, if you have that established relationship with a dealer or able to get on those lists early, even at MSRP, a lot of those cars, I know Chevy Corvette prices are just really coming down, but even then you could have driven one 2 or 3 years and sold it for what you purchased it for. So again, those early relationships, and get on those lists well before a lot of people are walking through saying, hey, I want one of those. The fourth strategy that I have for buying new is to buy a car at the end of their production run in which you don't see a direct replacement on the horizon. So not only do those often come with great deals from the dealer, and they do often depreciate hard the first few years, but they end up working their way back. And I'll give you some examples. The Toyota FJ, the Chevy SS sedan, they couldn't give those things away during the last year of production, but they have held those prices extremely well. The Mustang Shelby GT350, I don't see a vehicle like that coming back with a bespoke motor and the type of engineering that went into that. A first generation Ford Raptor, of course, that was the only generation that had the V8. Look at those prices. In the future, maybe look at something like a manual Hellcat Challenger, or maybe a Lexus LC500 or IS 500. I don't know how much longer those are going to be around, but again, I don't see a naturally aspirated V8 in that class coming back. So a lot of those kinds of vehicles where you can't replace it, the market seems to hold very steady for those, especially if your time frame is out just a little bit further, where people have kind of used those cars up. And then finally, the last strategy I have is stick to vehicles with a very low depreciation. If you're going to kind of try to do this as most normal shoppers do, there are huge differences in the amount that cars depreciate new. So, I mean, you're looking at, some of the lowest depreciating vehicles on the market, like a Jeep Wrangler or a Toyota Tacoma. So you're looking at 10 to 15% depreciation over the course of 5 years of ownership, whereas a lot of cars are around that 35 to 40%. That's just never going to make your numbers look well. So anyway, I hope this was beneficial for you. The next series will be posted soon, part 3. Please hit that like and subscribe button so you don't miss any of my infrequent updates, and we'll see you next time.